What's going on, YouTube? Gonna keep going here with my Kiss reviews. Just did Unmasked. Before I get into this review, I want to point out one thing I didn't say on my Unmasked video review for Kiss's Unmasked. During the Unmasked era, that whole entire tour, if you ever get the Kissology DVDs, or if you ever go on YouTube and you look up the videos during that time of that tour, best stage show that they ever did, in my opinion. The whole stage concept with the tank and the drum tank and the stairs that went beside of it, the outfits they wore at that time, I think were some of the coolest outfits they had. And I really regret not getting into that era of Kiss at a young age, as I did with a lot of their other stuff. I just wanted to say that real quick. And of course, if you're a Kiss fan, if you're just getting into Kiss, you probably already know the next album I'm going to review. And I know for a fact, even if you don't comment on the video, I'm going to get some flack for this because I love this album. One of my favorite Kiss albums of all time. It's playing back there in the background. It's really low right now because it's intro to a song. But I'm going to go ahead and say it, guys. I don't care if anybody knows. The Elder. Music from The Elder. Yeah, that's right. Music from The Elder. One of my favorite Kiss albums of all time. And some people would be embarrassed to say that. Not me. I'm not embarrassed to say that. It's playing back there right now. Pop this open real quick. Got the story in there. It's a longer story than most. Basically a little background with this album for me and in general. Didn't really listen to this album until about 5 or 6 years ago. Along with Dynasty and some other stuff I got into at that time. As far as Kiss. This is really a good album. I love this album. The first time I ever heard it, I was kind of like, whoa, what in the world did I just listen to? Because that wasn't Kiss. But if you really listen to this album, and the more you listen to it with the track songs on there, it's a great album, guys. This is Kiss on point. This is a concept album, of course. I'll tell you the story behind it. When they came out with Dynasty and Unmasked, they didn't really sell that well. Kiss was kind of in the hole as far as own production and their albums, and it was going downhill fast for Kiss. They were losing a lot of money because Kiss was a band that really put a lot of money into their promotion. So if they weren't getting any sales out of their promotions and stuff like that, they weren't making any money. They were losing money. Kiss at this time almost went bankrupt. I've read that a lot. Don't know if it's exactly true. But from what I hear, from 81, from 80 to 83-ish, they were in kind of a bind financially, which is weird to hear from Kiss. But they wanted to make a rock album after Unmasked. They wanted to get in the studio, especially Ace wanted to get in there, and they wanted to make an album that just rocked your socks off. Old classic Kiss. I've seen some interviews back in 81 when this album came out, or before that, I'm sorry, when Unmasked came out in 80, with Ace and Gene talking about they wanted to really go back to their roots as far as Destroyer and Rock and Roll Over and Love Gun. They wanted to go back there and kind of refresh musically. And of course, Bob Ezrin, they contacted him. Bob Ezrin said, instead of making a hard Kiss album, let's make a concept album. And he's great at those albums, by the way. So Bob Ezrin gave him the idea to do a concept album. Paul and Gene absolutely loved the idea. Eric Carr didn't really have a say-so in it because he wasn't an original member. Ace hated it from day one. And through this entire album, he just sent basically demos and final recording sessions from his house. Ace in the whole studios in his basement of his mansion in wherever he lived, New York or Massachusetts, somewhere up there, Connecticut, I don't know, somewhere up north at the time. And he recorded his demos, sent them up there, never ever went into the studio to work on this album. And this is basically when it was over for Ace. He was done at this point right here. After this album came out, it sold horribly. People never understood this album. People never got behind this album. People never got into this album. I love it though. It's great. Some of the music settings on here are awesome. I'll go ahead and go through the track setting. Fanfare, the opener on the album. Just an instrumental that opens the album. I like that. It's pretty cool. Just a Boy, I love that song. Odyssey, one of my favorite songs on the album. Only You, I love that song. Under the Rose, my favorite song without a doubt on the album is Under the Rose. That's an awesome song. I think they should play that song live on every tour that they ever do. Absolutely love Under the Rose. It's a great song. Dark Light, it's one of Ace's songs. From what I understand, all of Ace's parts were recorded in his studio, mailed to where Bob Ezrin was producing this, and put together. Dark Light's a great song. A World Without Heroes, which is playing right now, that's another good Kiss song in general. It's great. I love it on this album. It does it justice on this album. The Oath, that's a great song. I love The Oath. Mr. Blackwell, I love that song. Mr. Blackwell's a great song. Escape from the Island, one of my favorite songs on the album is Escape from the Island. It's a great, great, great song. Man, you got to listen to that song. Just the way it runs together. The song I, which is I, not E-Y-E, but I right there, is another good song. This album, front to back, is a great, great, great song. I wish I had this album on vinyl. This is a very, very rare album to find for Kiss fans. Well, I shouldn't say very, very rare. It's a rare album to find in record stores. That's why I had to buy it on the Remasters collection, which is cool because it tells you the story behind it. To the new Kiss fans out there who are just getting into Kiss, this is not where to start. Unmasked, Dynasty, not so much Dynasty, but Unmasked, The Elder, and then the albums above that. To really get into them and understand them and respect them, this is not where to start. The earlier stuff, Destroyer and all that is where to start. But this album holds its own. It's a good album. I don't know why people give it so much grief. Met a guy on YouTube who reviewed this album, and he said it was one of his favorite albums. One of my good friends on YouTube, Steven, reviewed The Elder, and when I heard that he liked The Elder, I was like, I don't have to hide anymore. I don't have to be a underground Elder lover anymore. Guys, I'm out. I'm saying it. This is a great album. Okay, I'm sorry. I don't care what Kiss fans say. The Elder, music from The Elder is a great album. Take it or leave it. It's a good album. I really encourage every Kiss fan, if you don't have this album, which I don't understand why you wouldn't, you probably have it but you never listen to it, because that's what a lot of Kiss fans do. They say, oh, I'm a huge Kiss fan. I have all their albums, but you haven't listened to any of their, Elder stuff ever. This is a great album. Take a listen to it. Try to really get into the songs, because this album's great. I hope you love it, YouTube. Comment, share, like. You know what to do.